Howdy, my name is Christian Benitez. I'm a planner with the Bureau of Statistics and Plans under the Guam Coastal Management Program, and I've been tasked to assist in the development of the Guam Forest System Plan. So I've been collaborating with the Guam Department of Agriculture, Forestry, and everyone else who's been pulled to assist in developing the Guam Forest System Plan. I want to just start with providing the background on the Guam Forest System. On November 22, 2011, Bill number 382-31 was introduced by Senator Aline Yamashita, which called for an act relative to establishing the Guam Forest System. The intent of the bill was to establish the Guam Forest System, which would assist the Guam Department of Agriculture in its mission by providing a plan to bring the Guam Department of Agriculture and all partners and stakeholders to the table to create an inventory of land that would help in coordinating efforts to leverage these resources and determine the best compatible uses within the Guam Forest System. The bill was subsequently referred to the Committee on Natural Resources on November 28, 2011, and a public hearing was convened on November 15, 2011 to receive public testimony on the bill. In consideration of the testimonies provided during the public hearing and after consultation with the sponsor, changes were made to the bill to address the concerns and recommendations presented. All changes were reflected in the substitute version of the bill. The bill was then passed by Speaker Judy Wonpat on January 20, 2012, and signed into law by Governor Eddie Calvo on February 3, 2012, as Public Law number 31-173. The Forest Legacy Act provides 12 required elements to guide the development of the Guam Forest System Plan, and I want to just quickly go over these elements as provided by the public law. First is an inventory of land to include lot number, size, and location for proposed potential use in the system, a comprehensive and concise definition of the public interest in the system, proposals for maintenance and enhancement of overall quality of the system environment, stipulations for public access for recreational and educational use, proposals for land use to include elements of, but not limited to, education for the purpose of conservation, preservation, environmental sciences, and other related curriculum, scientific research, training for agriculture-related personnel, or those involved in natural resource fields, and or disciplines-related activities, recreation and conservation and preservation. Proposals for collaborations with entities within the government of Guam or non-governmental organizations for planning, enhancement, sustainability of the system. List of allowable activities within the system and penalties for violations, recommendations for sustainability of the system, including the extent to which development may be allowed. Proposals for permits and fees shall be dedicated to the operations and maintenance of the system. Procedures and protocols for the discovery of presence of historic artifacts on government Guam lands, including in the Guam Forest System, pursuant to public law. Procedures and protocols for identifying government or privately owned land for inclusion in the system in accordance with U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest System Programs criteria, and procedures and protocols which shall include a component for public review for leasing land to be included in the system. So we're still currently updating the narrative of the plan to strengthen the elements of the plan that need more work. The draft was just recently revamped with the assistance of Adrian Lorzell, and I believe the draft narrative concisely addresses most of these required elements. Where we're having the most challenges now is with the land inventory, which I will talk about next. Currently, we have a list of locations, and these are Government of Guam lands identified as natural preserves and conservation preserves pursuant to public law, and other public lands deemed important for cultural, ecological, and public use reasons. What we need to work on now with the land inventory is determining who currently has administrative jurisdiction for each of the specific lots in order for the collaboration with the agencies to happen. Then we could determine if transferring jurisdiction of land is necessary to carry out the proposed work in site-specific plans, or what memorandum of agreements among the agencies will be needed. So now that I've provided some background information and where we are with the draft plan, I want to now take the time to discuss the importance of establishing the Guam Forest System. The areas of land that will be included in the Guam Forest System are multiple use areas with a range of public uses and benefits. Different areas within the system will have competing uses, including extractive uses, low impact recreation such as hiking, hunting, or camping, and more environmentally challenging uses such as off road driving trails. So, the Guam Forest System will establish a plan to balance uses with the public interest in long term protection of these sites and the services they provide. The Guam Forest System will sustainably manage these areas to facilitate safe recreational use, support educational and traditional uses, and strengthen the economy through direct means such as uh, provision of commercially valuable timber and through indirect benefits including water quality protection, flood abatement, erosion control, and ecotourism opportunities. The forest system provides other less quantifiable benefits, including improvements to human health and well being associated with access to forests and undeveloped areas. Now, I want to talk about the goals and objectives currently identified under the Forest System Plan. One of the goals identified is to manage watersheds to protect and improve water quality of surface water, groundwater, and nearshore marine habitats. Some objectives in line with this goal include reforesting watersheds and expanding existing ravine forest remnants, creating riparian buffers to protect stream systems and reduce flooding impacts, addressing wildfires through education, prevention, and augmented suppression efforts, controlling feral ungulates that pose threats to watersheds, and participating in collaborative initiatives with local and federal government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and private landowners to enhance watershed management. Another goal identified in the Forest System Plan is to maintain and enhance biological integrity of native ecosystems. Some activities identified to achieve this goal are identifying and protecting rare plant individuals and populations, protecting and managing native habitats, and propagating and outplanting of native and endangered species. Another goal identified under the Forest System Plan is to support public access to the Guam Forest System, and of course, the plan provides specific objectives and activities that support this goal, such as creating, restoring, and maintaining of trails, viewpoints, and public recreation areas with appropriate signage and safety considerations. This will also allow us to work with recreational and hobby groups to facilitate access and use compatible with protection of water quality habitats and population of vulnerable species. And the fourth goal identified in the plan is to strengthen the economy by sustainable use of forest products and protection of key forest ecosystem services such as flood abatement, erosion control, carbon fixation, and ecotourism. So we could use wood from hazardous trees and invasive tree removal efforts and provide opportunities for timber harvest when compatible with habitat protection, water quality protection, and public recreational uses. Other objectives in line with this goal are to prioritize forest and forest fragment protection to maximize water retention, carbon fixation, and erosion control potential, and to work with the private sector, nonprofit organizations, and village leadership to create ecotourism opportunities. Now, just to wrap up my talk by covering some items for moving the Guam Forest System Plan forward, we're looking at the possibility of having a technical planning summit sometime in September to get all the key individuals and subject matter experts in the room to get their input in addressing the elements of the plan that require that collaborative effort, such as creating a priority list of specific areas identified in the land inventory, the extent to which development would be allowed within the system, and other required elements of the plan that need strengthening. We hope to complete the land inventory and finalize the draft plan to submit to the governor and transmit it to the legislature for approval along with the promulgation of rules and regulations, at least within the legislative calendar. Then we could begin and continue developing the site-specific management plans for each of the areas identified under the land inventory. We'll definitely need support in the future when the plan is up for public review and when it's heard at the legislature. So I hope everyone is looking forward to the further development of the plan. and we appreciate all the collaboration and support in this effort. Thank you.